Good afternoon, Professor C. My name is Dorothy Woodson, and I have chosen the text, Sandita. Now, this is the story of Sandita. He was born to a Mandingo king. The king's name was Nari Mahagan Kanate, and he one day was approached by a soothsayer who informed him that should he marry an ugly woman, he would have a powerful son, a son who would rule and be a good king and very powerful. So the king decided to do just that, and he married an ugly woman, a hunchback woman by the name of Soligan. Logan. They were married, but the king was already married. He had a first wife and a son before he married Logan. But after he married her, they produced a son by the name of Sandita. Sandita was born with some health issues, and he could not walk. For the majority of his childhood, he was crippled, couldn't walk. In 1224, the king died. He passed on. When he passed on, his first son assumed the throne, and the first son's mother, who was very jealous of Sullivan and Sandito and the rest of their children. So she exiled Sandita, his mother, his sisters, and his brother. All of them were sent into exile. Back in those days, that was their culture. That was how they did things. The first son was always the heir to the throne, and the first wife always took precedence. Therefore, this gave her the privilege to exile the second wife and the second wife's children. This was their culture, their society. This is how they maintained their cultures and their societies. As there was one ruler, which was the king, and I imagine if he got married, him and the queen would rule together. But there was no democracy, no discussing these things. And surely the second son had no say, and he wasn't acknowledged, despite the fact that the king did want Sandita to be acknowledged because it was prophesied. But yet, the first wife and the first son, they took it all, and they ran with it. And as I say, that was their culture. That was how they did things in those days. That was their society. In our society today, things are different, but somewhat different. As we have no kings, there's a king in England, but in America, we have a president. That's not much different from the king in this day and age, but that's a whole nother story. But our culture today, it allows us to make some decisions and to do some things on our own. But even back in the 1224s, back in those times, it was sort of like the strongest would survive and the strongest one would rule. As in the fact that there was a king who wanted to rule the Mali Empire. And this king, he attacked Mali so that he could become king. In his attack, he killed all of the heirs. There were 11 heirs to the throne, and he killed all 11 of them. And the one son that was sitting on the throne, well, he ran. He was scared, and he didn't want to be killed. So he forsake the throne and all the people that were looking for him to lead them. This is when Sandita stepped in. And he came in and he fought the other ruler so that he took over as king. And as it goes, he was a very good ruler and a very good king. As the prophecy predicted, he took over, ruled everything, and he was very good at it. As I say, that was their society, that was their culture. So, but in our day and age, well, our culture, our society today, well, like we have presidents, we vote, we get to have a say. Sometimes that say doesn't really mean much, but still we get a chance to go out and vote for who we want to lead our country, for who we want to direct us, so to speak. So that's a big difference between back in 1224 and right here and in this day and age. Although in this day and age we still have people who want to rule and run the country, and they will run roughshod over anyone and everyone if they get the opportunity to do so. So in a sense, it is still the strongest will survive. To your question, would I recommend this text to anyone? I definitely would recommend it. I feel like this text shows courage, determination. It proves what a good person can do and what a good ruler looks like. It shows you what a good ruler looks like. As Sandita, he's a legend, and he's still being talked about, written about, spoke on, and idolized even to this day. As they said in part of the text, where they say that even though there were other rulers, Sandita was one of the greats, and he ruled. He ruled in a very good way. He ruled by God's word. So yes, I would recommend this text to anyone who's interested in finding out how to be a good ruler, how to handle themselves with people, and how to help people. Yes, I would recommend this text. Thank you. I was a little nervous doing this first time I've ever done anything like this. But thank you, Professor C. And I guess I'm done.